Okay, everybody, I'm making this video today to kind of go over everything with the little Jiggy turkey call building diaphragm builder, and let's get started. And the first thing you're going to need to do is stack some rubber. Now in this pack, when you get it, you're going to have a variety of colors of rubber. You're going to have mostly the white, the thinner. This colored rubber is slightly thicker. It's a 3.5, some of it may be a 4. And most guys like to put that down first because you're building this call upside down. So what you do is put the colored rubber down first, and then the thinner ones. This is what most guys like to do. Most calls are built this way. And talking about stacking, what you're doing, stacking or staggering the rubber, is you slide this thinner sheet up on the thicker sheet. And I like to get about a 1/16 or a little more gap between the two, give the spacing of the stack right here. Give it a little tap down the edges, not down the middle, and then we're going to come in with our last reed same way. And I like to try to line it up on one side or the other. This rubber's pretty good and length, it matches up on both sides, but you slide this one up, and I like to go just a little bit below, maybe a little bit more than a 1/16. Tap it down the side. So that's ready. And the reason you're tapping this, once this stuff's tapped, you can throw it across the room, you can throw it anywhere, and it stays together. Alright, so let's put it in the jig and build a call. Alright, you're going to lay your press back, open your clamps up, and right here on this straight line, you want to try to get the red rubber, the one reed right across there, good and even, right across that line there. And you want to make sure, let me go back and tell you this, you want to make sure your slide is all the way up against your wall here, and your indicator's right there. Push forward, everything's up, so you'll get your stretch true every time. So we'll go back and put this in here straight like that. We're going to bring this clamp down. We're going to bring this clamp down. Alright, we'll go ahead and stretch it. I'm going to go about right there. Now some of these jigs will hold the rubber, but most of the time you're going to have to just hold it in position when you get ready to mash it, and I'll show you that in a second. But let's go ahead and get a frame ready. Frames come flat. They've got these two creases on each side. What I like to do is put it on the edge of a table or some kind of finishing with a straight edge, and just bend it straight over there so you get it good and straight. And you bend it halfway over, like that, maybe a little bit more. Then you want to get your stretch back right. Let's see, right there's where I want it. And that tab part in the back, the little tab on the frame, you want it to come underneath. Make sure you get all your rubber, all 3 pieces. You're going to slide that up under the red, bring it back right there. You check your stretch, bring your press down. You can also stretch this thing with the press down, so you can look at this indicator right here, what mark you're on, kind of get a reference. You might want to write this down and build this call. So let me explain something about building these calls. The rubber. This rubber is coated with a powder to keep it from just being gummy and sticking together. So with any call you buy on the market, or any call, it takes a day or so in your mouth with the moisture getting that powder off there. So you're not going to get a true sound of that call until like maybe the next day. You can take it under a sink and run water over it, face it up in the water, and wave it back and forth, and get that powder, get some of that powder. But every call that's ever built's got powder on the reeds, so you have to get that off. Alright, so we got our stretch right, we got our press down, so we're going to come in here and we're going to tap this thing. Just not too hard, you don't want to kill it, but you can peek, and as long as you're mashing this crown out of the frame, you can see that it's good to go. Alright, so we're going to get some back tension. Alright, so we'll pull this rubber straight back, right in the middle, where the tab is. Pull it straight back and up, and then kind of hold it right there. And then we'll take a little tab bender here, and you'll watch your tab go up, so that holds that in place. So then you can see the back tension in that call. So we'll lift our clamps. We're going to go ahead, and I like that back tension, so we're going to go ahead and bend that over. We'll take our scissors. And do not use the little black scissors that comes with the kit. Use some other type scissors. Like I said before, these are little electrician scissors. You can go to a hardware store, but they're stainless steel, and they'll last you, shoot, 10 years. I've had these forever, as long as you're not cutting wire and stuff with them. So there you go. So that's the call. Now, we're going to tape this call in just a second, but a lot of guys don't like to tape their calls until after they make the cut, because if you mess up the cut, you're not wasting a piece of tape. One thing worth mentioning while I'm thinking about it, and when you store this jig or put it away, it's best to have your clamps closed so the magnets are drawn together, and it'll increase and lengthen the life of the magnets themselves. So when you put it in storage, keep your clamps shut, and it'll make it last a lot longer. All right, let's go ahead and do some cuts. And we're going to do a V-cut starting out. And very important, when you're making cuts on calls, you want to get under the top read only. You can look underneath and make sure. You go to center call, 10 o'clock angle, 10 o'clock, 2 o'clock, remember that. And I like to go about 1/4 inch, 3/16, and that's going to vary from personal preference, what you like. And that's pretty much a V-cut. All right, now let's go do a combo cut. Now combo cut is like it's what I used to call the old shipwreck cut. So what you're going to do is move her over to the left side of the call, once again under the top read only, and you're going to cut that same V, maybe just a shade less in depth. A V there, and then you V it over this way. And then what you do is you grab that little tip of that rubber right here on the left side, and you pull that up. And I like to take it and press it against the table, just slide my scissors in the back of that, and be careful not to cut the other parts of the call. And you snip that back off of that, and that's how you get that combo or shipwreck cut. So that's what that is. All right, let's do a bat wing. Now bat wing is pretty simple. What I like to do is start out, you cut that same V, but I like to go just a little bit deeper. Same 10 and 2, maybe just a shade 1/16 of an inch more, deeper than what we did before, and you got your V. Now you're going to do the exact same thing I showed you, how to grab that rubber there, and you don't want to ever pull it really super hard. Just pull it up, hold that call against the table, slide in there and snip that off, and then you're going to slide in here and snip this side off, and that will be a bat wing call. That's how you do the bat wing cut. And like I said, you can vary the depth of that V cut starting out, and that'll give you different type bat wings. Now let's do what everybody calls a ghost cut. Now the ghost cut, the way I like to do it, you can go straight in, 1/4 inch apart, but the way I always do it is I'll do a V, but it's not angled as sharp as what we did before. I'd go, instead of a 10, I'd go 11 and a 1, and just go right to the center call and cut just about 1/4 inch. You got that, and you can tell this angle's not as much as what we did before. And then grab that center piece, pull it up. Once again, this is the way I do it. Hold it against the table and snip that back off. And that's how you get a ghost cut. And so we got those 4 cuts. And then I'm going to show you the old standby. Back in the old days, this was the cut that everybody did. It's just a regular old cutter. And the way I make it is you go from this left side, you go over 1/4 inch, and you go down 1/4 inch. The cut's 1/4 inch deep. And then they got that. Once again, you come in here and snip that off, and you got that, the basic cutter. And then some guys will come back and they'll cut little slits, the back corner of that call, give it more rasp. If you don't like the way it sounds, you can do that after you run it a little while. Like I said, it's going to take a little bit of running to get that powder and get that call broke in. There's always a break-in time on that. All right, so we got our basic cuts. So now we're going to put some tape on these calls. So what we'll do is, let me grab a piece of tape. It's real simple. Now, when you receive this tape, it may look like this. It may look like, and it's got this little donut hole, and you just pop this out and throw it away. And then the way I like to do it is get it up on the edge and brush my thumb across here a couple times, and this will peel apart. That's what it does. And expose that sticky side and throw this other part in trash. And this is kind of intimidating, but don't be intimidated by it. Just gently, I like to stick it to my fingertips right here and put just a little bit of curl in it. And what you want to do is get up over the cowl where you can see, and you want to come down right around that ring there. And I'm off just a little bit, so I'm going to try to break it loose and move it just a little bit until I get it right. And then look it over. It looks pretty good. And then what you do is flip it, just cowl over on its back, flip that straight over like this. Slide your finger right in here. And it's real important not to, when you grab the tape here, not to pull that rubber towards you too hard, because you can pull the reeds out of the cowl if you pull really, really hard. But what you want to do is gently grab that tape right in the center. And once again, looking over the top, pull it back till it meets the back of the aluminum, and then gently press this down. And then work your fingers around it and press that down like that. And that's pretty much a tape cowl. Now what we would do is get our little diagram that comes with the kit and lay it over top, pencil around it, and trim that tape off. And pretty much that's a done cowl. Now a lot of guys, and I used to do this, after I blow on that cowl a while and it's got so much tape, some guys come back and trim that tape by scissors, just trim it down 1/16 of an inch at a time and make it a little bit smaller profile so it fits your palette better. So you might want to try that. But I hope that helps you guys today. But if you have any problems, just let me know. But thanks for purchasing the little Jiggy, and good luck this spring. And let me know how you guys do. Thanks.